Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first, maybe even the unreleased episode of Alphabet Soup hosted by me, Andrew Brooks. You can follow me on my socials at Andrew Brooks Comedy on TikTok and Instagram. And with that out of the way, the sponsors for the episode, let's get into it. Now, what did I really want to talk about this episode? Well, I have recently been playing a lot of Call of Duty, the campaigns of the older Call of Duties, the ones that are held in such high regard. And part of me has only ever liked Call of Duty because it's essentially a popcorn game, like a popcorn movie. Popcorn movie is a movie that's made just to be stupid and fun and watch and entertain your brain so that you don't have to think about reality. Call of Duty is a game that is really meant to save the same purpose. However, because Call of Duty's a war game, it's kind of held under this microscope that it has something to say, that it has um, political or social or ethical ideologies put into the writing. Why I wanted to bring this up is because, well, does it fucking matter? Part of me has gone rounds and rounds and rounds on whether or not something like popcorn anything is good. And while I think most people will be like, oh, yeah, you can't just have constant sadness and conflict happening in your brain or you'll go crazy. But part of me also wonders if that's just people justifying not wanting to deal with those same issues because it is tough and hard to think about and it does make you go crazy. Now, I think that people have to do that a lot, but life's hard enough, right? So, when you come to things like Call of Duty that is it's just giant set pieces, something that was brought essentially created because of Martin Scorsese wanting to put together a video game that was like his crazy war films. It it's why do we have to do this? Why do we have to put things on a pedestal like this to make it worthwhile, to make it worth your time, to make it worth an argument on whether or not should like the thing of it the thing about popcorn anything movies or video games is that they're supposed to distract you from reality, but the whole existence of popcorn video games or movies creates an argument. It creates the argument of whether or not this is important or even art if it has nothing to say. We just it can't even be what it wants to be without starting a fucking argument. It the entire existence of, I guess, human consciousness or self-awareness or opposable fucking thumbs makes it so that nothing can just be. There's always something behind it that has to make it more. Like, and I think it's all in an attempt to explain our existence. That we mean something more. That humans solely exist for a purpose. when really all it could be is just an accident that reproduces. Every other animal in the animal kingdom is always just the whole purpose of it being there is to reproduce. That's what they do. They serve an ecological purpose and they make more of themselves to continue the ecological purpose. Yet, for some reason, because we can create languages and pick up cups easily, we have to have more than just that. More than the fact that we serve everything around us rather than a sole purpose, an existence that, when lived correctly, will put you in a place that is good. Uh, and the thing about that existence and the fact that we can do that seems so remarkable compared to everything else in the animal kingdom or in nature. It seems so far-fetched, and why are we the only ones? We have to be special, that we put it into everything that exists. We look for things that might not be there, that it might just be because molecules are flying around and changing and sharing weird fucking energies, that on top of everything else that serves an ecological purpose, that if you kill too many predators, then the prey runs wild, and if you kill all the prey, it kills all the predators, and without the predators, the prey runs wild. That's how this cycle works. But because we exist in a vacuum where we can think about that, we have to have a purpose. And in trying to find these purposes and in trying to make it seem like everything that we do, that if we're constantly moving forward with our existence, we are accomplishing the purpose that we were set on this earth to do. And in that purpose of trying to become better constantly and fulfill this sycophantic idea that we are meant to be better, we're killing everything around us. We've stopped serving the ecological purpose and started sucking the life out of it so that we ourselves can be better. That's what every human society is built around. That's what every country and every government believes. That's what the people believe. It's what we all believe. But because we're constantly and quote unquote moving forward, we're taking away from maybe what we were actually meant to do, which was just serve the nature and place that we're created from, like everything else. The fact that we can think about it led us down a path that caused us to kill it and maybe entirely serve our purpose wrong is where I'm at right now. That's where I'm at. That's what's happening. That's what came out of Call of Duty. That that was that's what came from me just trying to relax. Because shit's just insane. Shit's just insane right now. Everything has to have a fucking purpose. And I know it sounds like an argument that people bring up all the time, but it's just, when you bring up the argument, I don't even know how to handle this properly. When you bring up the argument, you're doing the same thing that you're complaining about. And it just makes you feel, when you think about it on that critical of a level, like, fucking dude, I want to leave this earth, dude. I'm gonna get the fuck out of here, dude. It really does make you go fucking insane. All because I played a fucking video game. All because I played a video game. I don't I don't understand why our brains have to do this. Why we are so different from everything else. What the fuck? Why does it have to be this way? Why can't I actually just enjoy something? Is it really that you know, humans bad, kill Earth. Maybe we were just meant to be animals in the animal kingdom like everything else. Or is it just conditioning from uh, how you were raised or media to make me think this way? Y'all are listening to the birth of a conspiracy theorist. This is the level of insanity you have to get to before you just snap and you're like, the fucking toothpaste makes you gay. Gays implanted through toothpaste. That's this is the level. This is the dawn of that. The breaking point. The snapped, uncooked noodle. Oh my fucking god. This was meant to be a comedy podcast. Legitimately was meant to be a comedy podcast. I was like, I'll get on the mic and be funny. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth is an existential crisis. And can I talk about how many people use existential crisis now? Have y'all ever noticed that whenever something smart gets turned into internet lingo or a meme, how it just takes the fuck off and it becomes so fucking hacky and everybody says it? Now, I said it, so I guess I'm no better than anyone else, but I used it correctly. That was an actual existential crisis. We use it for such small shit because it was funny once and they know it was funny once, so this will make my friends like me when I say it, that it becomes fucking hack. I just, I hate that I said it. I hate that I said it now. I can't stand that I said it. That I would stoop to that level. I should be smart enough to come up with something new, not an existential crisis. Maybe it's internal. Maybe it's not existential at all. Maybe it's just me trying to figure out why I'm constantly at odds with my brain. Maybe that's what it is. Or maybe toothpaste does make you gay. Well, I don't know. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying at this point. This is, oh my fucking god. To start a podcast, and the first thing you talk about is how everything is supposed to have purpose, means that I'm trying to give the podcast purpose and undermining myself. No one should ever listen to me. Podcasts are stupid, and the people that do them are dumb. And they have no opinions or anything to say, and you should never listen to anybody. Think for yourself and never, ever take morals or thoughts or advice from anyone else. Think for yourself. Never use experiences presented to you by other people or the experiences you've lived with other people and use that to create your own critical thinking. It should all come from your brain specifically, or you're not a good enough person. But if you do that and it gets to a place where the collective disagrees, then you need to succumb to groupthink and bow the fuck down to the rest of if you have actual thoughts that no one agrees with, because we have to agree on thoughts. And another fucking person talking about, I guess, SJWs and cancel culture, but that's not, it's not real. It's not real because it's always been around. It's just now it's at a place where it affects comedians and we all feel like that it's going to end our careers and everything that we had ever hoped for and worked for is just going to end in front of us. It's just going to stop existing. But this fucking ideology's always existed. It's just shifted in different ways and been in different places at different times. It's never not existed. Like, everything with the vaccine, that seemed to just kind of like add a whole new layer to all this shit. Are you gonna get it or not? Which I don't want to even fucking present any opinions on that. But that whole fight between two sides on something that could have just not been that whole fight, like, that's always existed. People on one side that go, my rights, and the people on the other side that go, but it affects everyone else, so should you have rights? It is has always existed. I saw a video the other day, and I think it was in Minnesota. It was from like 1985, and it was the first time that the state of Minnesota, I believe, I mean, this could be wrong, but I know I saw the video. The state of, I think it was Minnesota, was enforcing seatbelt laws. Like the first time that they had introduced seatbelt laws and started enforcing them. So people had to wear their seatbelts, and if they didn't, they would get pulled over and charged money. And I swear to God, if you isolate the audio from the people that disagree with it, it sounded just like they were talking about the vaccine. It's my choice. It's my right. Why should I have to do it? When really all it is just contrarianism. It's just people that don't want to be told what to do, which is fine, especially when you're an adult. Nobody wants to be told what to do when you're an adult. Like you go your entire 18 years, even further than that, because your parents don't stop telling you what to do. I mean, if you had any career for 18 years, you think you'd just be able to give it up completely? For 18 years, there's the one or two people, it seems more like one now, but one or two people that are in charge of your entire life. They're in charge of your life for 18 years. They're in charge. And the thing is, at a certain point, you start getting tired of it. And you don't want to have somebody in charge of your life. And you'll hear adults constantly say that, oh, I didn't know anything at that age. So, I mean, I always disliked my parents, but I never understood how hard it was to parent and how stupid I was at that age. And then turn around and say, but you gotta learn. You have to fuck up to learn how to be an adult. So it doesn't matter. By the logic, in that logic, I was too stupid at 16 to make decisions for myself because I wasn't an adult yet. But adult is not contingent on time, it's contingent on the fuck ups that you have and how you learn from them. Then time would never be a factor in that. Time has nothing, it doesn't actually have anything to do with your age. Now, obviously, the longer you're around, the more opportunities you get to fuck up and then learn from them and become a proper adult according to this thread of logic. But you could just take every opportunity to fuck up and learn from it. You could just be good at fucking up, and by the time that you get to 25, you have an actual life experience because you never turned down an opportunity to learn to be an actual adult. Time is not contingent upon your learning to be what a societal adult should be in whatever culture you're in. It doesn't actually matter. It's just, uh, and you go through that and you finally hit 18 and you're like, I did it. I can finally use the 18 years of guidance and learning and fuck ups I made and second chances to be the societal adult my culture wants me to be. And then somebody's like, well, you that's what you're about to do. That's what you're doing. However, there are billions of set rules you have to follow. And we keep adding and changing them and flipping them around so that even when you've finally succumbed to the fact that you'll never actually be in control, we have to go and fuck it up again. And you're like, well, fucking there goes the status quo, the comfy chair that I like to sit in. I understand why people wouldn't want to get a vaccine or to have to wear a seatbelt when they drive. They want to feel like they have choice. And then you have the other side of stuff like this, like a vaccine, or you should always wear your seatbelt, if that was the fucking argument that was being thrown out there. And you have the same starting point. You have 18 years of figuring out how to be an adult. And if you go through an actual experience where you feel like you are not allowed to control your own life and then the people that do control your lives fuck it up, or if you see people who are in control of their lives just be not great, if you look at it and recognize it as individuality or individualism can lead to dark paths, and you have to follow the set examples that we have that are proven tried and true to make a good adult. Sorry. Then by the time you get to an adult, when you just want the whole world to work, when your life for 18 years was garbage, when you yourself were put down by the laws that are in place or the people that are around you, if you have an alcoholic, abusive father, or if you have a manipulative, uh, detrimental to your mental health mother, if you have any of those, the people that are meant to be in control of your life for 18 years to protect you and serve you and make sure that you eat and make sure that you have a place to live and make sure that you make it out okay, that you can become, to provide the opportunities to become this adult, and you just see the people in power completely destroy themselves, and from that cause a ripple effect where you yourself can't be as an individual. You have to then start thinking about other people. Well, you want everyone to eat because you didn't. You want everyone to be safe because you couldn't be. You want to make sure that the people around you, the people you care about, you want to make sure that everyone has that safe space to live because your house got broken into, because you never you didn't have a safe place to live in your formative years. I can understand how those people would want society to protect each other. That the only way to succeed as an individual is to lift each other up, make sure that everyone eats. So I can understand why they would want people to take a vaccine that's meant to save lives, that's meant to save them, because they are scared as individuals, but they know the only way for individuals to survive is through the lifting up of each other, that we all support each other, and that's the only way for individuals to thrive. You have to take care of things that threaten everyone if you yourself want to do anything. Both of these things I find to be valid in the arguments that are being thrown at each other. I, as far back as time goes, you've always had stuff like this. And when people say that, like, oh, neither's wrong, it seems like a cop out answer, that, like, they don't want to take a stance because they don't want to alienate anybody, which I also think is valid. Because sometimes shit just be fucked and you don't want to deal with it at that moment because you got other stuff. You know, that's fine. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to alienate people because what's the fucking point? I fucking dropped my vape, dude. Did I drop my fucking vape? I can't fucking find my vape, bro. God damn it. Anyway, I find all of this valid. And I find that it's existed for many, many years, as far back as time goes. You go to the fucking Crusades, Templars, and shit like that. I love Assassin's Creed. Templars and shit like that. And I guess it's always been there. And these arguments, I think, just take understanding. No matter how far back you go, you can look at anything from any perspective and justify it for yourself, for what you believe or what you think is right. But everything that you think is right is contingent upon two sides of anything, or three sides or four sides. Everything you think has to either fit in or stand out. It can't just be, I don't have any thoughts on that. This brain doesn't work. It's like, oh, you gotta. And you probably do, but maybe you don't know how to deal with it. Maybe you finally found a conflict internally that you have to work through, that you have to think about, or that you just got to drop it. Maybe you just have to drop it. Maybe you just got to go, well, I'm already worried about this other stuff. So this shit that just came up, I don't have time. I don't have time. I gotta feed the other children. I can't have another thought baby. I'm already nursing these two about whatever you're conflicted about. I don't. What the fuck is it? You know? Comedy podcast, guys. I fucking. Who cares? Does it matter? Does this matter now? You think about it too hard, and then the only thing you can come to is that it doesn't actually matter, that we're all drops in a bucket. Is that really enough, or is there a purpose? That's actual yin and yang. That's actual yin and yang. That is actual balance in humans and thought. That you can either choose to believe in greater purpose or greater powers, that that's special. You can believe that stuff is special, that you are special, that other people are special, that special exists, or you can just succumb to the fact that nothing matters. We're just a part of the universe. We just happen to be here. But that's not fun. That's not fun at all. But then why do anything? Maybe you do stuff because it is fun. Maybe you do stuff just because it does make you happy. But if you want to achieve happiness, if you want to get to a place where happy exists, you got to be an individual and you have to think about the people around you. And to achieve that happiness of just doing stuff that makes you happy, you have to give your life purpose, which defeats the fact that you succumb to nothing has purpose. Why don't you think about that? I I listened to Pink Floyd earlier, so I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just stoned. I, oh my fucking god, dude. Why couldn't I just talk about dicks? Why couldn't I just talk about dicks or porn? Jerking off? Fuck did I have to talk about? All of this from Call of Duty. From fucking playing Modern Warfare 1 Remastered. Just going down a rabbit hole of, is this good? Is it art? Does it deserve to be here? Not saying it does or doesn't. Not taking any stance. I still love Call of Duty because it is popcorn bullshit. That's what it's always been, and that's what it always will be. I don't know if it needs to. That we need to search for things to prove that the people that made it are hypocrites, or that it's actual art, or that it isn't. Maybe you go around, you shoot bad guy. You shoot bad guy. Bad guy gets shot, it good. You good. Bad guy dead. This is not real. I'm not in an actual war. I don't think it's how actual war works, but we have like Band of Brothers for that. And we know we have Band of Brothers for that. If you want to feel a specific way about war, or really call into your thoughts through art, through media, you have options. And sometimes when those options have been exhausted, you go, me shoot bad guy, me good. Me shoot bad guy. Me hero. Me celebrated. Me did good thing. Because it feels good. It feels you get fat dopamine hits and endorphins when you feel like you've done good. When you feel like everybody likes you. Or even if nobody likes you, you feel like you were right, justified, and vindicated. Ah, whatever, dude. It doesn't fucking matter. Man, I didn't really think this would be as long winded as it was. I was like, I don't know, I'm going to be able to do a recording by myself. I feel like I have to have somebody else there. It's been 30 minutes and I can barely shut the fuck up. So, if you made it this far through incoherent ramblings, thanks. I appreciate it. This may never air. This might just be the test run that I keep in my back pocket. But we'll see. Maybe I'll put it on a fucking DVD. Oh, what the fuck am I talking about? DVD? What the fuck? It's 2003 again, guys. I'm gonna have a DVD. Maybe I'll put it on a fucking Patreon, which y'all can fucking pay me extra for, because money is the only actual meaning of life. Fuck you, it's money. Fuck you, pay me. So I'm gonna get a Patreon going for Alphabet Soup, hosted by me, Andrew Brooks. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Andrew Brooks Comedy. I'll start that Patreon, and you can fucking pay me to say shit that doesn't fucking mean anything and to go around in thought loops and maybe fucking ruin my entire career. Oh shit. No, I don't believe anything I said. This is satire. Dude, don't do drugs because it makes you think you could do a podcast. Not because drugs will lead you down to death. Not because drugs will kill you, but because it makes you a straight white male think you could do a fucking good podcast. That's why you shouldn't do drugs. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in, and there will be another one eventually, I'm sure, because this was too much fun to rant. So, don't think too hard today. That's my advice. Don't think too hard. Rate, share, subscribe. Tell a friend that there's this fat idiot that says wild shit sometimes. Tell him that. Tell him how fucking make fun of me. Honestly, if I had a podcast where I didn't even know that everybody just listened to it because they're making fun of me, but I still made money, I don't give a shit. I like money. Make fun of me. I love it. Thanks. Stay frosty.